Hi, this is Kirk Everist, head men's water polo coach at the University of California, Berkeley. Today we're going to cover offensive and defensive tactics. Now we're focused on you, the individual, so we're just going to deal with the basic principles of the front court offense and defense, counterattack offense and defense, and 6-on-5 or man-up offense and defense. And hopefully you can use some of these ideas to go back and utilize in any system that you run. We're going to look at offensive tactics. The areas that we're going to focus on the offensive end are going to be the counterattack, front court, and 6-on-5. Keys to success for a counterattack are the advantage, gaining an advantage, awareness, penetration, speed, and spacing. We're going to look at the zones of a counterattack. If we're going and attacking this way, the first part, first 10 meters or so, is going to be that advantage zone. That's where you want to create the advantage of a counterattack. That's where you want to get in front of your defender and maintain that advantage. The second area, the situation zone, is where you need to assess, read, understand what's going on. What kind of situation is it? Is there a one-on-nobody ahead of you and you need to go back to D? Is it a 5-on-4 counterattack and you are involved? What's the situation? Where's the ball? Where are we going to move it? How close am I to my offensive players? And I'm going to start to establish what I'm going to do when I get to the strike zone, which is when we're going to score our goals, that last 10 meters. So again, advantage. Gaining an advantage early is imperative to a successful counterattack. You've got to get the jump on your offensive player, anticipate the turnover or the shot, create an advantage, and then attack the cage. Awareness, again, assessing the situation quickly. Where do we have an advantage, and where do we need to move the ball quickly to take advantage of that advantage? Penetration, move the ball down quickly. We want to get the ball into the strike zone as quick as possible. Even if we don't score a goal on a counterattack, the quicker we move the ball into the front court, the more time we're going to have to run a front court offense. So penetration is going to be key, moving the ball down quickly, not allowing yourself to get fouled, staying in an attack mode, and getting that ball into the strike zone as quick as possible. That brings us to speed. Everybody has to commit. We're all going. It's a 6-man counter. When the ball turns over, everybody's going. Understanding the situations, trying to create advantage without getting in our teammates' way. And that comes to spacing. Not everybody can go down the center of the pool. Okay, so you're going to have lanes, as it were, when you're attacking on the counterattack. So we have a lane on the far right, we have a center lane, and we have a lane on the left. You cannot crowd your teammates. You don't want to be right next to a teammate unless you're setting a pick or trying to slow down a defender for that teammate. If you get too close, you don't want to allow a defensive player to guard 2 players at once. You don't want a defensive player to dictate or slow down the ball because one of your teammates doesn't want to make a pass because players are too close to each other and one defender can end up guarding 2. So you got to create spacing so that when we get into the strike zone, we can flow into our front court offense, or I can make a defender make a commitment. If I have good spacing and there's only one defender to guard myself and my teammate, that defender is going to have to make a choice. And we're going to create an opportunity for one of us. If we're too close, then the defender doesn't have to make that choice, and that's where spacing is going to come in. So you need to understand your geography. You need to see where your teammates are, which is going to happen in that situation zone, and that's going to be part of your awareness. Understand those situations. Get away from your teammates, spread out, force the defense to go long distances to cover up, and that's going to help your counterattack be much more successful, as well as establish your front court offense quicker in a balanced set with good spacing. Now we're going to cover front court offense, keys to success. First of all, ball control. On offense, you want to control the tempo of the game. You want to control the ball. You want to make good, safe passes. You don't want to turn the ball over unnecessarily. So ball control is going to be a key. Establishing good position offensively, preparing yourself to receive the ball on the perimeter, anticipating the defense's moves, keeping the ball under your control as long as possible, and working it into a solid, effective attack. Awareness. I need to know as an offensive player on the perimeter in a front court offense what the team is doing. Where are we attacking? Where is my 2-meter offensive player setting up? And that's where we want to move the ball to. Let's go to movement. We're going to deal with individual movement as a major key. I can't stay stagnant. I need to move, as I've said, in passing and shooting skills, move with and without the ball. Passing and shooting lanes. I want to create new passing and new shooting lanes through movement, either with or without the ball. Could be a drive, could be me just taking the ball and sliding one way or stepping the other. So creating passing and shooting lanes so that we can have an effective attack. Force the defense to play man-on-man. Again, individual movement. I want to keep my defender focused on me. If my defender is focused on me playing man-on-man defense, then he is not able to help on one of my teammates. So again, force the defense to play individual man-on-man defense, and that will potentially free up another teammate for a pass or a shot. Good, solid offensive opportunity if I can keep my man busy. Ball movement. We talked about the awareness of the situation. Where is our attack side? Where are we going to attack this defense? And we need to know that so that we can move the ball to that spot. The same principles that we deal with on defense, the player, ball, area, 2 meters, is in play on offense as well. If I don't know where the ball is and I don't know what's going on at 2 meters, I have very little idea of how we want to attack this offense. So I need to know all those things so I can make decisions based on that. So I know where to move the ball so that we have the best attack. Where is there a breakdown? Where do we have an advantage? And how do I move the ball quickly to that side so that we can take advantage of that? And then back to spacing. Just like anything, we have to be spread out. The tendency is to crowd the ball. The tendency is to move up into a little bit better shooting angle, but by doing that, you might be crowding one of your teammates. And again, we don't want to create a situation where one defender can guard 2. We don't want to give one defender the opportunity to influence 2 separate players, so we want to stay wide, we want to stay spaced, we want to force the defense, if they are going to help, to have to go a long distance, cover a lot of water. That will allow us to take advantage of them offensively, because the further they have to go, it's going to be much more difficult to recover and establish good defensive position, and that's how you're going to have a good, solid front court offense. The next thing we're going to deal with are 2 separate attacks. How do you attack a front court pressure defense, and then how do you attack a front court zone defense? Now we're going to focus on attacking a press defense, so pressure offense attack. Keys in a pressure offense attack are movement. Again, we've dealt with the basics of front court, and movement's a key staple. I have to be able to open up the ability to move the ball to the attacking side. I'm going to do that through drives and releases. Driving to create an advantage and force the defense to help create a situation where the defense has to double team a drive because an advantage was established. Drive to open up water to the attack side as well. So there's going to be times where you're going to move in order to establish the attack side of the pool. And then releases. I need to be able to release to the ball so that we can play what we call live water polo. I don't want to get fouled every time the ball moves one position. So we want to be able to get the ball and move it as quickly as possible to the attack side. The attack side being the side that your 2-meter offensive player is establishing position on. So we want to move that ball quickly to that side. The 2-meter offense's job is to establish and hold position while the offense moves the ball and can try to get the ball into him. So releases, moving, those jab step releases, the crossover releases, the backdoor releases, as well as drives, hard, explosive, inside water drives, trying to create a situation where the defense has to react and help. Recognition, understanding the situation we talked about. Where's the attack side? Where's your 2-meter offensive player setting up? And where should we move the ball to best help us attack this pressure offense? Pressure passing. We have to be able to pass under pressure. You're going to have to move away from the defender without getting fouled. So how are you going to do that? You're going to utilize some of the 2-meter offense techniques that we've shown and worked on. I'm going to utilize a quarter turn move where I'm going to try to absorb the pressure from the defensive player. I'm going to do a quarter turn and try to seal off with my weak shoulder, quickly get up and make a pass without getting fouled. Okay, so that quarter turn move, quickly get up on your legs and make a pass. I'll also do a layout. So again, I've got my back turned to the attack. I'm going to shoulder shrug, go to the ball, attack it, step away and extend the ball away from the defense and move the ball with a pass to the attack side of the pool. So some of those pressure passing techniques are very similar to the 2-meter offensive techniques in order to get shots off. Ball control. We have to have ball control in a pressure defense situation. Pressure defense is made to cause turnovers. So we want to have ball control. If you have to sit on the ball, if you have to get fouled, you're going to get fouled. We just need to control the ball and maintain possession so that we don't end up giving a counterattack opportunity. So controlling the ball, being able to draw a foul and then move the ball. If we cannot move the ball without getting a foul, again, drawing a foul is going to be very similar to at 2 meters, quarter turning, letting go of the ball, forcing the defense to grab me so I can get a foul and get a free throw and move the ball along to the attack side. So again, keys to success in attacking a pressure defense, we got to have movement, either drives or releases. We got to understand and recognize where we're attacking, what our attack side is. We got to be able to pressure pass and we got to be able to control the ball. We can't turn the ball over. All right, now we're going to look at attacking a zone defense. So the zone offense keys. First of all, again, we're back to movement. Getting a little repetitive, but that's a key in this game. Not staying in the same place for very long. So we need to move either by driving or just sliding to extend the defense. So I want to move with or without the ball. If I have the ball up and I'm faking, I want to slide to my right, slide to my left. If I don't have the ball, I want to move to my left, move to my right to create good spacing so that we can attack the zone and to extend the zone. Okay? I want to extend the zone, and what I mean by that is if we can spread out the zone defenders and force them to go longer distances to help in the zone, we're going to increase our chances of being successful in our zone attack. So we're going to need to move, create new passing lanes and new shooting lanes by movement, either by drives to clear defenders out or by just sliding or stepping right or left. So again, movement and extending that defense, forcing the defense to go longer distance to help. Patience. We want to control the ball. You're in a zone defense, or you're attacking a zone defense, you're open for a shot. But you need to look at the situation. What does the shot clock dictate? Are we attacking for our 2-meter offensive player? And in some senses, attacking a zone defense is a little bit of a game of chicken. If I hold on to the ball long enough and I'm very diligent and effective in faking the ball and creating those passing and shooting lanes, the defense will eventually start to come out. When the defense comes out, the inside pass to 2 meters is going to be open. If the defense doesn't come out, the shot will always be there. So be patient in your attack. Be comfortable with holding onto the ball and not passing it. If you're faking it, sometimes you might just have to hold on to it to wait for the defense to make a move. Wait for the defense to commit and then move the ball to exploit that commitment. So again, movement, extend that defense, be patient with the ball. And the last thing is perimeter shooting, passing, and faking are going to be keys to attacking the zone. The ball has to be up, it has to be dry. You have to be committing the goalie and the defense at all times. You have to sell your fakes. The goalie and the defense have to believe that you're going to shoot. That's the only way, again, you're going to be able to extend the defense. If the goalie and the defense believes that you're a threat, then they're going to come out of their zone a little bit too far, and we might have that inside pass. So really staying on your legs, staying in that triple threat position, locking the goalie, attacking the cage, being aggressive, but being patient, and extending the defense, forcing them to move out of their zone responsibilities, which is going to open up the inside water. And if they don't move out of their zone responsibilities, then that shot's going to be there. So there's going to be keys to attacking that zone defense. Again, back to movement, spread out the defense, extend them, be patient with the ball, and be really strong with your fakes, high in the water, stay in that triple threat position so that you can move, you can shoot, and you can pass at all times, and then you're going to be successful against the zone. All right, lastly, we're going to look at 6-on-5 offense. How do we attack the 6-on-5 defense? All right, keys to success. Keep the ball dry. Passing is a premium on the 6-on-5. You want to keep a good rhythm and move the ball. You have to commit the defense. You have to commit the goalie. Best way to do that is to move the ball around the perimeter. If we recall, our basic 6-on-5 offensive set is that 4-2. And we want to move the ball around the perimeter quickly, forcing the goalie and the defense to shift right and left. So keep the ball dry. When the ball drops in the water, the defense gets to adjust, the goalie gets to rest. So you want to focus on being prepared to catch the ball, keeping that ball dry, moving it quickly around the perimeter, looking for an opening. All right, you need to commit the defense. As we said, that's a key way to commit the defense, either by my fakes or by moving the ball quickly so the defense has to move. I also want to move without the ball and with the ball. You don't want to stay in a straight line all the time being in the same spot. So offensively, we're going to shift to our right and to our left, breaking the line, coming out to the side, bringing a man center cage, bringing a wing up into the pocket. We're going to move the offense back and forth, again, trying to commit the defense, make them overcommit to one side so that we can find a shooting lane behind a defender and end up with a one-on-one situation with the shooter and the goalie. So you got to commit the defense. You got to be ready to receive the ball. If we're going to keep the ball dry, you got to prepare your body before you get it. Again, that common mistake for players is to pass the ball and then become a spectator and be surprised when the ball comes right back to them. Once you make that pass, you got to get back into good, ready position to receive the ball. So that means setting your hips, setting your body, getting your legs moving quickly, being ready for that pass to come back to you so that we can keep the ball dry, move the ball quickly, make good, crisp passes, and commit that defense. It's got to be a team attack. We're talking about moving the ball quickly and committing the defense. Everybody's got to be involved. When the team shifts, again, this is all going to be based on your coach's philosophy on 6-on-5. When the team shifts, everybody shifts together. Everybody's got a purpose, and we want to work as a group. We don't want to crowd each other. Again, spacing is going to be important. You don't want to come into a situation where one defender can influence two players, or you want to extend that defense as far as possible so that if they go out and attack the ball, it's harder for them to get back to the post players or the inside players. So team attack. And ideally, when you're committing the defense, you want to turn that 6-on-5 advantage into a 3-on-2. I want to commit, on this diagram, let's say I want to commit 3 defenders to this side of the pool, leaving only 2 defenders on this side. If I can do that, I've again raised the possibilities of us scoring. A 3-on-2 is much more successful than a 6-on-5. I've taken away shot blockers, I've taken hands out of the way of the cage, and I've created a situation where there's only 2 people, I've got 3, and then there's the goalie. So we're going to try to establish a 3-on-2 situation by committing the defense, by moving, by having good, crisp passes, keeping the ball dry, working as a team, and let's try to get the defense out of position as quickly as possible so that we can establish a good attack and get a good shot on cage. Right now what we're going to discuss are defensive tactics. Again, we're focusing this for individuals, so I'm going to keep it at a high level, but basic keys to success in the different areas of defense. The areas that we'll discuss are going to be the counterattack defense, front court defense or half court defense, and 6-on-5 man-up defense. First, we're going to tackle counterattack defense. Keys to success for any counterattack defense and the defender individually is going to be vision, first and foremost. You need to understand the situations. What is the counterattack? Is it a 3-on-2? Is it a 2-on-1? Is it a 1-on-nobody? And how do I react to those situations? You want to get to your back early in the counterattack so you can survey the pool, see the situations, and be able to communicate with your teammates. The earlier you can go to your back and see the entire field of play, open up your vision, you're going to be able to make good decisions in the counterattack defense. If there are going to be any switches because of personnel, 2-meter defense, switching to the 2-meter offensive player, you want to do those switches early on in the counterattack. You don't want to do it in the strike zone. By strike zone, I mean the final 10 meters of the attack. So you want to do it in the middle of the pool, or you want to do it early in the counterattack so that you're not scrambling at the end to make those decisions in the strike zone and leave a player wide open in front of the cage that can score. You also want to slow the ball down. By that, you're going to press the outlets, ideally. The goalie has the ball. I'm going to press the outlet, and I'm going to try to keep the ball in the first part of the counterattack as long as possible. I don't want the offense to get into the strike zone without wasting some time. If I can slow the ball down, I'm going to allow my defense, my team defense, to play defense for less amount of time because the shot clock's going to keep running and you're going to have to play individual drive defense, individual 2-meter defense, individual team defense for a less amount of time. The fourth thing is ball side positioning. As you are counterattacking to defense, you need to figure out, once you get to your back and you realize the situation, you also need to maintain those basic defensive principles. Man, ball, area, 2 meters. Well, in this case, it's going to be the ball. Where's the ball? And who am I guarding? Where's my player? So I'm going to establish ball side position early in the counterattack. I want to have ball side position set before we get to the strike zone, because as we get into the strike zone, you're going to transition into playing front court defense. So establishing that ball side early is going to be key. A key piece for you to establish front court defense once the counterattack is over. And the last thing is effort. There's no such thing on the counterattack as I've got my player, okay? You're going to have to guard your player, and if one of your teammates is beat, you might have to chase them down. So effort's a key. Taking the extra stroke, swimming hard early so that you can position yourself in the ball side position, making that extra effort to make your job easier once the team transitions into the strike zone. So those are going to be the key areas: vision, understanding the situation, opening up, surveying, communication with your teammates. What is the situation? How are we going to attack this defensively? If there's going to be any switches, do it early. Slow that ball down. We want to play the least amount of front court defense as possible. Establish ball side position to set yourself up for the front court defense. And then effort. Everybody's got to commit to chasing back. You can't be lazy on defense. You can't come back with your head down. You've got to swim with your head up and understand the situation, and you got to swim hard if you're going to stop the counterattack offense. The next thing we're going to focus on is the front court defense and the keys to success in the front court defense. First of all, play the percentages. As a defender, you want to look at what your best options are. Force the offense away from the strike zone. The further the offense is away from the strike zone, the less chance they're going to have to score. Force lowest percentage shots. All right? I don't want to allow counterattack goals. 1-on-nobodies, 2-on-1s are much easier to score than a 6-on-6 set. I don't want any goals out of 2 meters. 2-meter man is the closest player to the cage. So I want my goals to come outside that strike zone. I don't want any ball side drive goals. If I allow a ball side drive goal, that's going to tell me that defensively I wasn't in proper defensive position. I didn't have ball side position covered. I hadn't established that good basic fundamental ball side defense. And because of that, the offensive player was able to get ball side and score a goal. As well as I don't want to allow long cross pass goals. That's the same principle. If there's a long cross pass goal, then defensively, I'm not up in the lanes, I'm not covering my man, and I'm letting the ball swing from one attack side to the other, and my goalie isn't going to be able to react to that. So again, play those percentages and force the shots from the furthest place out and the worst angles. That's a key. Take ejections or kickouts for a purpose. You don't want to take ejections on the counter. You don't want to take an ejection 20 meters from your own goal. If you're going to take an ejection, you want to do it to stop a goal or to stop a pass that's going to lead to a goal. So we're going to take ejections for a purpose. We're not going to take counterattack ejections. You're not going to take ejections on the perimeter when your offensive player is out of that strike zone and not a threat. And you're not going to take drive ejections. You should be able to play drive defense without grabbing and holding. I'm going to swim with my man, I'm going to establish that ball side position, and I'm not going to take those drive ejections unless it's to prevent that goal or to prevent the pass to a goal. Fundamental body position, we keep going back to that. Ball side position, hips up, understanding the situation, the basic tenet of defense. Where's my player? Where's the ball? What's going on in my area? What's in the vicinity? And what's going on at the 2-meter position? I need to know all of those things. So I have to play fundamental body position defense. No bad defensive days. Defense is all about effort. If you're willing to put in the effort, you're going to be okay defensively. But it's hard. And you're going to have to move. You're going to have to take the extra stroke. You're going to have to commit to getting into the ball side. You're going to have to commit to chasing. If you have a bad defensive day, that's a bad effort day. Teamwork. You got to work with your teammates. You got to communicate the situations. You have to understand how you're attacking the offense. And I have to take care of my job and be able to help my teammate if there is a breakdown. Communication, talking through the situations. What is the situation? What kind of defense are we in? Are we in a press defense? Are we in a zone defense? And how are we communicating that? The simplest things that might seem completely obvious, the more the team communicates, the better your defensive success is going to be. And then finally, shot clock management. Again, doing things with a purpose defensively is a big theme. I don't want to foul on the perimeter and stop the clock unless I have to, unless it's going to stop a pass that's going to go in for a goal or a good offensive attack. So I want to keep that clock running, and I want to understand that. If I can press and force the defense away without fouling and stopping the clock, then it's going to be less time that my teammates have to play front court defense. And so we want to make sure that we eliminate seconds as quickly as we can so that we can maintain the ball, get the ball back, and go back on offense. So those are the keys to success front court defense-wise. The next thing we're going to look at is pressure defense and zone defense. Pressure defense, we're talking about the front court defense, and now we're going to focus on pressure defense. Keys to pressure defense are body position. We keep going back to that base fundamental body position. Hips are up, legs are moving. I'm between the player and the ball. I've got ball side position. So body position is going to be very important. In pressure defense, that body position is going to vary a little bit based on the location of the ball. And what I mean by that is, if the ball is one player from you as a defender, your position is going to be different than if the ball is 4 players away from you as a defender. I'll give an example of that. kind of do a diagram here of a basic front court offense in our 3-3. 3 on the back line, 3 on the front line. Let's say the ball is here at the point. Okay. This would be 1 position away. Right here, 1 position. This would be 2 positions away. All right? So that's what I mean by 1, 2, possibly 3. If the ball is over here, down here it would now become a 3 positions away if the ball is now at this position. Okay? So your position-based ball side position, pressure position is going to vary based on where that ball is and how far the ball is away from you. Why is that? The further the ball is away from you, the more time you're going to have to recover on the offensive player. So if the ball is 1 position away, you want to maintain contact and be in a tight denial position. I'm going to have good contact on the defensive player, and I'm going to be up in the passing lane. If the ball is 2 positions away from you, you're still going to maintain contact, but you're going to give a little arm's length, about an arm's length away from the offensive player, but maintaining some contact with your outside arm, being in the passing lane. Okay, so some contact, but give them an arm's length away. Give yourself some cushion to recover should there be a drive or some movement. If the ball is 3 positions away, you're going to come off even more. I'm going to give him about an arm's length, but I'm not going to have any contact on the offensive player at all. So I can slide away, be in the passing lane, but because I still have time to recover and close out on the defender should the ball be passed to my offensive player. So those are going to be keys. Where do I position myself based on where the ball is to allow myself to not get beat backdoor? If I'm too close to a defender, to an offensive player, and the ball is a long ways away, I can get beat inside unnecessarily, and I want to, again, play those percentages. I don't want to take ejections that I don't have to. If you have time to recover, utilize that and create some space and stay in that ball side position. Anticipation. I need to feel what's going to happen. What's the next move? Is my player going to drive on me? Are they going to do a hard release? What's the situation behind me? Again, basic premise, ball, man, area 2 meters. I need to understand all those things so I can make a decision on what's going to happen next. So I need to anticipate the movement, anticipate where the offense is going to move the ball in order to attack our defense. Anticipation is a key. Mobility. I have to keep my hips up. I got to keep my legs moving. I've got to be ready to move laterally or to lunge out. I've got to move with my offensive player so that I can, again, maintain that ball side position because I want to slow down the ball. And that leads to ball pressure. The ball in a pressure defense needs to be under pressure. You're trying to force the offense to do one of 2 things. Turn their back to the cage and swim away. Or I'm going to try to foul the ball and stop the ball in order for my teammates to reposition themselves into ball side position. So ball pressure is going to be key. If there's good ball pressure, if I get beat on a drive on the weak side of the pool away from the ball, but there's good ball pressure, I have time to catch up and get back into position. I have time to swim back and take that extra stroke that we worked on in individual drive defense, take the extra stroke, whip my hips around, and get back into ball side position. So those are going to be key things. How do I position my body based on where the ball is in the pool? How far is it away from me? And how far I can get away from my offensive player based on that. Anticipation of the next move, understanding the situation. Where is the offensive player going to drive? Where are they going to move? Where are they trying to attack? Mobility, being able to rotate over my hips, keeping my hips up high, not getting vertical, staying horizontal, staying mobile. And then ball pressure, putting the ball under pressure so that the offensive player can't make a pinpoint perfect pass if one of my teammates gets beat. So that's my job if I'm on the ball and I'm pressing that ball. I want to make them turn away, from the strike zone so that any player on my team that might get beat isn't going to be punished for it because the ball is under pressure and the player can't make that perfect pass to that player who's open for just a split second, and I'm going to come back underneath and get good position, so the ball pressure is going to allow me to do that. So those are the keys to pressure defense. Now we're going to look at zone defenses. So we're still in the front court, and now we're in a zone. Some of the keys to that. First of all, let's discuss why we're in a zone. We're in a zone defense because our 2-meter defender is behind the 2-meter offensive player, and we're looking to help that defender as well as guard the perimeter. So we're going to go into a zone, we're going to take an area of water, and I'm going to be responsible for helping at 2 meters as well as guarding my offensive player on the perimeter. So I've got two responsibilities here. It's different than the man-on-man pressure defense where I have my main responsibility and I've got a man and I'm going to take that person. In a zone, I'm kind of guarding 2 people, or at least 1.5. Okay? I'm helping back and I've got my main priority. So the first key is going to be, as always, body position. The base body position in a zone defense is going to be head in and feet out. Head in towards the 2-meter offensive player, feet out towards the perimeter. So again, if I describe that, 2 meters is here, defense is behind. Okay, we're running a zone because there's a huge passing lane into set, into the 2-meter position. So we want to help. So we have perimeter players on the perimeter, and we're going to run a zone. So we're 50-50, halfway between. I'm going to have my head in and my feet out towards 2 meters, feet out towards the perimeter. All right. Why I want to do that is because I'm going to rotate over my hips when my player gets the ball, and I'm going to rotate back over my hips, back into head in, feet out position when the ball is given up to another player. Okay? So again, body position, head in, feet out. When my player gets the ball, I'm going to rotate over my hips, do that hip over move, and get up into good field blocking and pass blocking position. I'm high in the water, I've got a hand up, I'm matching hands with the shooter and passer, meaning if the shooter is right-handed, I'm going to have my left hand up. If the shooter is left-handed, I'm going to go with my right hand. I want to match hands with the defender, shadow that defender, and I want to take away part of the cage, and I also want to eliminate a direct angle pass into 2 meters. As soon as my player gives up the ball, makes a pass, I'm going to rotate back into head in, feet out position. If the ball goes into 2 meters, I'm responsible for helping back and trying to steal the ball while the 2-meter defender is slowing down the 2-meter offensive player from behind and pushing them out towards the zone. Okay? 2-meter defense's responsibility is to try to push the offensive player as close to the zone as possible to shorten that distance that the zone defender has to cover in order to help at 2-meter D. So body position is a key. Teamwork. As I said, everybody's got a responsibility. Most of the time when we're running a zone, it's going to be a 2- or 3-person zone. So I'm able to rotate out on the ball when my offensive player has the ball, and I'm able to come back when my offensive player does not have the ball. And it's kind of in a piston motion. So we'll have two defenders, and if your player has the ball, you're going to rotate out and go towards him. And if these are the 2 zone defenders, as I'm going out, this defender is coming back. And vice versa. As I come back, this defender goes out. So we're working in unison. 1 in, 1 out. 1 help, 1 out. Okay? So that teamwork is going to be important. Communication is going to be important when you're dealing with that teamwork. Telling your teammate that I've covered, I've got the help covered, you're back. Okay? What's the situation? Has it changed? And then your 2-meter defender is going to have to help you out as well by forcing the 2-meter offensive player into that zone and again, shortening the distance that the zone defenders have to cover in order to help. And then there's effort. There's no time to rest. You're back, you're out. You're in, you're out. Okay? You're trying to be in two places at once when you're in a zone defense, and that's going to be important. You can't just kind of sit there with your hand up and then drop your hand and look back at 2 meters. You're going to have that effort. You're going to have to be, like I said, in two places at once, because you're helping your teammate at 2 meters, and you're also responsible for your man and taking away that shooting and passing lane. So that effort's going to be key. Again, there's no time to rest. When you're on defense, you're gonna have to keep moving and work with your teammates to stop the offensive attack once you have to go into a zone defense. Lastly, we're going to look at 6-on-5 defense and the keys to success in the 6-on-5 situation. Obviously, in a 6-on-5 situation, defensively, you're down a man. You have a player ejected. You have 5 players. The offense has 6. So you're going to have to guard multiple people. Attitude is the first key to success. 6-on-5 is an attitude. It's all about effort and it's about intensity. So you have to believe that you can guard multiple people in the pool. You're going to have a primary responsibility and you're going to have a secondary responsibility. So that's going to be a big key. Positioning in the pool. Again, basic positioning on 6-on-5 defense is head in, feet out if you're on the perimeter. I want to be able to rotate over my hips and close out, cover a lot of water, and knock down perimeter passers. Okay, so my positioning. I want to play high in the water. When my offensive player gets the ball, I want to be up in a big, high, field blocking position. I want to cut down the angles for shots. Ideally, we want to funnel the ball to the center of the cage. So your basic 6-on-5 set offensively is a 4-2. 4 players on the back line, 2 players on top. Defensively, we have 5 players. So we set those players in the gaps between 2 separate players. So as I said, you have a primary responsibility and a secondary responsibility. Primary responsibility for this defender is this shooter at the 1 spot. Positioning wise, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, and this is 6. So this defender, X1, the primary responsibility is the 1 offensive player. I do not want to let that player shoot and the ball near side into the cage, into this area. We want our goalie to only have to cover the center of the cage. Secondary responsibility is the post player, this 2 position. X2 in the center, primary responsibility is funneling the ball and field blocking and covering these posts. So X2 is a key piece on the 5-man defense, covering both posts, jumping back and forth depending on where the ball is. X3 over here, exactly like X1. Primary responsibility is the near side shot from the 6th position. Secondary responsibility is this post, the 3 position. And then we have X4. Primary responsibility is the 4-man and shooting near side. Secondary responsibility is the 2 post. X5. Primary responsibility is the 5-man and near side shots. Secondary responsibility is the 3 post. So positioning, we want to, as I said, funnel the ball. Everybody's going to play high. Everybody's going to get a hand up. You want to shrink the cage. You want to make the shooters on the perimeter look at the goal and not find any room to shoot. You're going to have your goalkeeper in the cage, and we want to funnel the ball to the center of the goal. All the shots we want to be in the center of the cage. Nothing goes in near side. Nothing goes in by the posts. That's the responsibility of the 5-man defenders. So positioning is going to be key. Getting into that shooting lane, staying high, attacking the ball, not shying away from a hard shot. The job of the defense is to make sure that the ball either funnels into the goalie or it never gets to the cage. I'm going to get a hand on the ball and I'm going to tip it out before it even gets to the goal. Awareness, what are the situations? Is the offense shifting one way or the other? Where are they trying to draw us out of position? And communicating that to my teammates so that you can implement whatever 6-on-5 defense your coaches have implemented. So the communication is going to be a big key. What does your coach want you to do when the offense shifts to the left, when the offense shifts to the right, when the offense pulls out a post player? That's going to be something that's going to be team specific, but the basics are always going to be the same. It's an attitude. I'm going to stop this and I'm going to be able to guard 2 people. Positioning, I'm going to play high in the water. I'm going to funnel the ball towards the goalie. I'm going to try to get a hand on every shot. Awareness, what are the situations, what's going on, and then communication. Talking to your teammates, talking them through the rotations of the offense, what's going on behind you, what's going on in front of you, so that you can react and implement the defenses that your coach has put together for you. Let's do a walkthrough of the passing drills we're going to do later. First, we're just going to do a basic passing drill called hot man, meaning I'm the hot man. I have multiple partners passing, but they're always going to pass the ball back to me. The first one we're going to do is a strong side. Strong side meaning I'm right-handed. All my partners are going to be to my right side. They're going to be throwing the ball to me from the strong side. So I'm catching it from my right coming to me. I'm catching the ball and making the pass. We're going to maintain good base passing and shooting position. I'm in a triple threat position. The ball's up high, my elbow's up, I'm sculling, my legs are moving, and I'm going to crunch, release the ball back to my teammates. Okay, so I'm catching the ball from the strong side and passing it back to the strong side. When I make the release, that crunch release, I'm pulling my legs back up underneath me quickly because the ball's going to be coming right back to me. A key mistake that kids make is that they pass the ball and then they spectate. When you release the ball, you got to quickly get your legs back underneath you so that you can receive the ball quickly. We talk about preparing yourself for the pass before it comes to you, not as the ball's coming to you. The next one we'll do, same drill, but you're going to draw the ball, meaning the ball is coming from the weak side. It's going to come from my left. I call it a draw because I'm catching the ball and drawing it back. Okay? I want to set my body again before the ball comes. I don't want to face up to where the pass is coming from because I'll catch it and now I have to spin all the way back around to be in that triple threat position. So I'm going to move my hips and open myself up to receive the ball so that all I have to do is catch the ball and draw it back into a triple threat position, and then I can make the pass back to my teammate, or I can shoot. Okay, so I'm going to set myself up, catch, and draw the ball back into a triple threat position. Those are the first drills we'll do. Second set of drills are going to be focused on balancing and rebalancing. Again, we talked about getting your legs underneath you quickly, not relaxing. These are good drills to help you get out of position, force you to get out of position, and then force you to get your legs back underneath you so you're in a good and proper basic passing position. First we're going to do is a 180 recovery. We'll go straight line passing. So the passer is going to be in front of me. Ball's going to come, I'm going to catch it, and I'm going to spin a 180 and then make a pass to my teammate who's back here. All right, I'm going to do strong side spin as I catch the ball. I'm going to spin strong side, meaning towards my right arm. I'm a right-handed player. If I was left-handed, I'd catch and go strong side turn and pass the ball. Then I'm going to go a weak side turn where I catch it and I'm going to spin weak side and get my body into position. Again, a common mistake is not getting your body into the perfect passing position and making the pass. So I turn, I catch, and I spin weak side, and I stop here because I can still make the pass. But I'm not in good position. I need to come all the way around, get my hips into the position, get in that triple threat position to make the pass. Now the key with these drills is that you want to do that as quick as possible. Okay? Get your legs into the position as quick as possible. When you're playing water polo, you're going to be moving. You're going to get pushed off balance. How quickly can you get back up to good position is going to be key. The second drill is going to be a 360 drill. So I'm going to catch the ball and I'm going to go complete 360 around, set my body again, and make a pass. Again, strong side, get my body set, make a pass, or catch and weak side, draw it around, come all the way back around to triple threat position, and make that pass. That's going to be 360. Then we're going to do a box drill. Good movement drill to focus on every type of way you're going to move. I'm going to move to my right, and I'm going to step to my right. I'm going to move forward. We're going to use that worm drill that we did in movement drills, and I'm going to worm forward. I'm going to go to the left, and I'm going to worm to the left and slide. Then I'm going to go backwards. A couple quick breaststrokes, get my legs back underneath me, then I'm going to pass. Okay, so I'm going in every direction. You can start it in any direction. You can start to your left, go forward with the worm, step to your right, and go backwards, and then make the pass. That's not important. It's just using all of those muscles and working a complete box around to move right, left, center, and backwards. Okay? That's going to be the box drill. Then we're going to do some release point drills. You want to vary your release points. When you're passing, it's also going to work when you're shooting. So we're going to vary those release points. The first thing we're going to do is sweep passes. We talked about those when we're watching the 2-meter offensive player do sweep shots. It's the same motion. Your arm is going to be straight. It's going to be parallel to the water. I'm going to catch and sweep pass. Okay? It's going to be in a straight arm pass. Just a quick release. Sometimes you're going to catch the ball and the ball is going to be out here and you need to make a quick pass into set or a quick pass to somebody. So we're just working on a different release point. Could work for inside water shots as well. So we're going to do some sweep passes. We're going to do wraparounds. Talked about that good field blocking position defensively. If I'm a shooter, I might want to wrap around that arm to shoot or pass to another player. So I'm going to step in, wrap around the arm, and pass the ball. Again, I'm going to try to keep my body under, my legs underneath me. I'm going to wrap around the arm and make the pass. Next thing we're going to do is fades. I'm going to catch, and I'm right-handed, so I'm going to go to my left. I'm going to fade to my left onto my side, almost like the layout that the 2-meter offensive player did. I'm going to roll to my side, and then I'm going to make the pass over here. I'm going to extend the ball away. Why am I doing this? Maybe there's a defender coming from my right-hand side. I can't set up in a perfect three-point or triple threat position because the defender is going to get to my elbow. So I'm going to fade to my side, extend the ball away from the defender, and make a pass. Again, these are drills, and I'm going to vary your release points so that in a game situation, you'll be able to make that pass no matter what the situation is. The last one we're going to do is just an arc release point drill. And all I'm going to do is go in a semicircle around and use all of those release points. First, I'm going to go wide and make a pass. And when I get it back, I'm going to go maybe at a 45-degree angle. Then I'm going to go straight over the top. Then I'm going to come to my left side, and then I might fade to make that pass, okay? So I'll start off wide, then a 45, then over the top. Then I'll go off of my opposite ear to make a pass, and then I'll fade and make the pass. So I've covered an entire arc of release points, working on those different things so that when the situation arises and you have to make a pass from a different position from your normal base position, you'll be able to do that. We're going to walk through some outside shooting drills. First, we're just going to warm up with a catch and shoot drill. We're going to go strong side and draws. First, strong side. I'm just going to catch the ball. I'm right-handed again. Ball's going to come from my right side. I'm going to catch it strong side, get into that good base position, crunch release, shoot the ball. Just a good warm-up drill. Then I'm going to go draws. Ball's going to be coming from the weak side. Again, I'm right-handed. It's going to come from the left. If I was left-handed, ball would be coming from the right. I'm going to catch the ball, draw, set my body quickly into triple threat position, crunch release, breaststroke kick to explode up, and release that ball and shoot. That's just going to be our warm-up drill. Then we're going to do some sliding, some movement shooting drills. Remember that warm-up movement drill that we did, the worm? We're going to use that now. I'm going to pick up the ball, and I'm going to worm forward to cover some water, get my legs back underneath me, come up, and shoot the ball. Then I'm going to worm to the side. I'll get up, slide, worm to the side, get my legs back underneath me, and release the ball to shoot. Next drill we're going to do is a strong side step. So it's very difficult for me to worm to my right as a right-hander because I don't have that offhand to really surf through the water, and I don't want to bring it in front of my body. So what I'm going to do when I'm going to my right is I'm going to take a big step, side step. So we're going to do a strong side step shot. Get the ball, lock, maybe a fake, step to my right, get my legs back underneath me, and release the ball. The next one we're going to do is we're going to pass and get the ball back off of a pass. So we talk about the basics of shooting. You always, and perimeter driving, is you want to move without the ball and with the ball. So the worms, the sides, the side worm, forward worm, the steps are moving without the ball, creating a new passing or shooting lane. Pass and slide, I'm going to pass the ball. Let's say I pass it to my strong side, to my right, and then I'm going to slide to my left, receive the ball back, and shoot it. I've created a new passing lane or a shooting lane. My defense is going to have to react to me moving. If they react too far, I might have an entry pass to 2 meters. If they don't react far enough, I'll have a shot on the cage. So I'm going to pass and slide. I'm going to do that to the strong side. I'm also going to do it to the weak side, to my left. I'll pass and step, draw the ball, get into position, and shoot the ball, creating a new passing or shooting lane. The next drills we're going to do are going to be focused on shooting versus throwing. What I mean by that is a lot of kids, big strong kids, they can throw the ball very, very hard. And they end up getting into a situation where that's all they do. They just pick up the ball and throw it at the cage and hope for the best. There's not a whole lot of forethought thinking involved in their shooting. So we're going to go through a couple different shots, try to help them with that. The first one's a hesitation or a hezi. And what you're going to do, again, you're in that base position, you're faking the goalie, you're going to lock the ball in a shooting position and hesitate just for a second, trying to commit the goalie coming up, and instead of bringing the ball back to release it again, you lock it, hold it, and then quickly snap through. That crunch, core body strength is going to be the propulsion for the ball. I have the ball up, I lock it, hesitate for just a second, and then snap through with a shot. Hopefully, I screw up the timing of the goalie a little bit on that hesitation shot. The next ones are going to be misdirection. So we'll go fade left, shoot right, or fade right, shoot left, depending on what hand. I'm right-handed again, so I'm going to fade left, shoot right. I'm going to have the ball. We talked about that fade passing and releasing, so I'm going to extend the ball away and up over my head. I'm going to try to get the goalie to commit. As I move my body, the goalie's going to think that I'm shooting towards the left side of the cage as I face the cage. And then I'm going to bring the ball back to the right side of the cage. So I'm fading to my left and shooting to my right. The next one is going to be a step. So I'm going to step to my right, shoot to my left. Or if I'm left-handed, step to my left and shoot back to the right. Again, creating a motion that commits the goalie to thinking that I'm going to go to the right side of the cage, and then I'm bringing it back to the left side of the cage. The next drill we're going to do is a wraparound. Talked about the field blocking position. How do you get around the field blocker? Well, this wraparound shot is a way to do that. The arm's up and taking away part of the cage, and all I'm going to do is drop down and wrap the ball around the arm to the cage. The goalies are focused on that field blocking arm. That's taking away part of the cage. I'm going to try to negate that and go around that arm and bring it to the spot where the field blocker was supposed to cover the cage. So that's a wraparound. Then we're going to work on some lobs, okay, some soft shots. Key to a lob is committing the goalie to get them out of the water and get them out of position. You're going to want to look at the goalie. What's the situation? Is the goalie too far out of the cage to recover if I throw a soft shot? But I have to sell the lob. I can't just throw it up. If the goalie's a little bit too far out, I'm going to try to commit him with a fake As they're sliding out, then off of the same look as a hard shot, I'm going to just release the ball and lob it up over the top of them. But the key is, again, to sell that, the lob has to look like your hard shot, or it's really not going to have much of an effect on the goalie. The goalie's going to react to that and be able to recover. So I want to get up big, I want to commit the goalie, and my release needs to look like my hard shot. So we're going to work on some lobs. And then we're going to work on skipping the ball. Again, back to shooting versus throwing. Most kids can skip the ball, but they tend to have a habit of bouncing the ball. So they'll throw it straight down at the water just to make sure it gets off. It's a habit that kind of forms, I think, when you're young, when you're not quite strong enough to skip the ball, but you want to. So you throw it so hard into the water so it does skip. As you get stronger, if you skip it too close to your body, the ball is going to end up skipping over the cage. So what you want to do is find a skip point in front of the cage. It's going to be like maybe a meter and a half outside the cage. What you want to do is skip the ball just in front of where the goalie's hand would be so that it takes off the water and goes over the top of the goalie's hand as the goalie reacts to the low shot. All right, so I'm going to find that skip point and I'm going to shoot just like I normally do. I don't need to throw the ball down into the water. I'm going to shoot through the back of the cage. It's just a normal shot, but I'm putting it on the water, okay? I'm gonna get myself in good position. I'm gonna find that skip point just like I'd find the corner of the cage that I'm gonna shoot at, and that's what I'm aiming at. And I'm gonna follow through just like I would a normal shot. The ball is gonna take care of itself. It will skip up into those corners or stay low depending on what the water's doing, but you wanna find that spot of water that you're gonna aim at instead of just picking up the ball and throwing it into the water and not really knowing, hey, based on where I throw this ball, where's the ball going to go? So those are some things that we're going to cover tonight. Warm-up shooting, some sliding and movement shooting, and then the shooting versus throwing, just some different shots that you guys can work on your own to mix it up and make the goalie have to think a little bit while you're playing on the offense. You don't want to just chuck the ball up there and hope for the best. You want to think it through and become a shooter versus a thrower. The next shooting drill we're going to do is a driving shooting drill. We're going to focus on the driver, the motion of your offense. The driver, as we talked about, your job description is to create motion, establish position, help the offense flow. We're going to do some driving shooting drills tonight. The first one's going to be a backdoor quick. So remember, defensively, defensive players in the passing lane. I'm going to go backdoor on the defensive player, hopefully trying to get them to spin, reverse spin, turn their back to me. Then I'm going to cut back out, catch the ball and shoot. So I'm going to make a hard stroke back door. The defensive player reacts to that motion, and I'm going to step back out to catch the pass and shoot it. So it's a backdoor quick backdoor move, step back out based on my ability to get the defense to react backwards. Second drill we're going to do is a give and go. I'm going to have the ball locking and attacking my defender. When the defender attacks me, tries to close out on me with the ball, I'm going to pass the ball and I'm going to pull by the defensive player and swim inside and look for the ball. So I'm going to give and go. Lock, defense closes out, I pass, push the defense with my off arm, my skull arm, out of the way, swim inside and look back for the ball. Okay? Give and go. The next drill is going to be a 90-degree cut. So I'm going to go back door like I did with the backdoor quick, but I'm not going to pop back out. I'm going to go back door hard, bear into the defensive player, and cut out at a 90-degree angle to try to catch the ball and shoot it. So I'm cutting at that 90-degree angle. Give a little example here. Here's the offense. Ball is over here for a pass. Defense. I'm going to cut in and out at a 90-degree angle, and I'm going to get a pass for a shot. Okay? That cut is going to establish some space for me to shoot the ball. Okay? I'm trying to get out quickly and create a little bit opening, a little bit of space to shoot the ball. The next shots we're going to do are inside water shots. Okay? So I'm going to be inside water a lot of times as a driver or at the end of a transition or counterattack. I'm going to be inside water. I got to find a way to shoot the ball. If I'm swimming, okay, so I'm horizontal and I'm swimming, and there's a defender on my back, I can't come up again into that triple threat position because the defender is going to be able to get a hold of the ball or get a hold of my arm. So I got to find ways to shoot from a horizontal position. The first shot we're going to do is a push shot. I'm going to be swimming with the ball. I'll get my hand on the ball, as we did in the ball handling drills, where I'm swimming with the ball, and I'm going to push the ball forward. I'm going to drop my thumb underneath the ball. My elbow is going to be high, and I'm going to push the ball forward. Okay? Thumb underneath, elbow high, push the ball forward to the shot. I can do this shot while I'm swimming, while I'm horizontal, and not have to come up into the vertical and allow the defense to get close to me. The next drill we're going to do is a weak shoulder seal. If I get inside water and I get a hold of the ball, I'm going to seal the defender with my weak shoulder here, and I'm going to hold the ball out in front, keeping the ball away, extending the ball away from the defender. I'm going to keep the defender away with my weak arm, and I'm going to come at the goalie with the ball extended. I'm going to be close to the cage on a shot like this because I'm not going to get a whole lot of power, because as you see, I'm not in a really great outside shooting position. So I'm facing the ball, I'm facing the goalie, I'm holding my defender off with my weak shoulder, and I'm looking for a hole, a quick wrist shot into the cage. Very similar to those quarter turns or half turns that our 2-meter men were using earlier. The next one's going to be a rollover or a layout. So again, I'm swimming, I'm horizontal in the water, and I'm swimming in front of the cage. I'm not able to pick the ball up and get into triple threat position again because there's a defender behind me. I'm going to grab the ball and swim with it, and then I'm going to roll over, taking my eye off the cage for just a second and looking back at my defender, and I'm going to do that layout move, getting my leg up in the air, extending the ball away from the defender, and shooting the ball. It's a quick kind of corkscrew motion, rolling over as I swim. I put the ball in the water and I corkscrew, roll over, lay out, and shoot the ball on my side. Okay, I'm on one hip, my legs are high, I'm sculling out here with the ball, or with my offhand, and I'm extending the ball away from the defender. So even if they're chasing hard, I can still get that shot off on the cage in a hurry. All right, the last drills we'll do is a second move drill. So the defense has position at the end of a transition or in the front court offense, but I'm going to get them to commit very hard to me, and I'm going to take a second move inside water. Similar to that give and go. I'm going to do, the first one we're going to do is a worm inside. So the defense is chasing me at an angle, and I'm going to get up big, and as they lunge at me to close out, I'm going to worm inside and now establish inside position. All right, once I'm inside, I'm going to use one of these shots, maybe a push shot, maybe a weak shoulder seal. But to get inside water, I'm going to come up big like I'm shooting. As the defense makes that commitment to me, I'm going to worm back inside water and then work from there. The second move is going to be a reverse spin. Same concept. I'm going to come up big like I'm shooting it. As the defense commits to the ball, I'm going to reverse spin to come inside water. And then I'm going to work on what's my shot, push shot, weak shoulder shot, quick sweep shot, something to get the ball off. And the third one's going to be an up and under. So I'm going to come up big again, and as the defense comes to me more towards the base of my body, I'm going to come up and then I'm going to go down and try to grab around the back of the defensive player and go underneath, putting the ball in the water and sliding inside. So I'm up, and then I'm going to come down and reach around the back, turn inside water, and now come up for a shot. So that's going to be your up and under. All right? The keys for driving and inside water shots are twofold. One, it's not going to be a perfect world. You're going to be off balance. You're going to have to do things quickly. You can't catch and fake. You're going to have to catch and shoot. You're going to have to be creative, and you're going to have to be tough. Once you're inside water, again, not a perfect world, you're going to have to find a way to get the ball on goal. Okay? The defense is behind you. The offense assumes you're going to take the shot. You're going to have to find a way to get it on the cage and see what happens from there. And you're going to have to be tough. You can't lose your legs. You've got to keep your legs underneath you. You've got to keep those leg RPMs going, and you've got to come up big, be tough, and get that shot off. All right? So those are the keys to the driving and inside water shooting. and we're going to go out to the pool and go through all the shooting drills right now. So let's get to work. We're just going over the base passing position. They're up in that triple threat position, balls in a platter behind, elbows high. They're snapping forward with that crunch release, following through and making the pass. So this is your base passing position. Again, elbows high, balls up, crunch release, balls in a platter position. Those legs are moving. Left arm is sculling, off arm is sculling. Snapping forward, making a good hard pass. All right, so we're going the hot man drill, and all the passes are strong side. So the passer is in a good triple threat position, base position. He's getting all the passes to his strong side. Coming right-handed, the balls are coming from his right side. Keeping the ball high and his elbows high and that crunch release. All right, so this is the hot man draw drill. So all the passes are coming from the weak side. The passer is drawing the ball, coming back around into a good triple threat position, and then rotating his body back over to make the pass. Again, he's setting his body before he gets the ball, so he's prepared just to bring the ball behind his head, and he's in a passing and shooting position. All right, so these are the balancing passing drills. We're going to get the guys off balance a little bit and get them back on balance. Going a 180 spin, 180 recovery, body's spinning around and getting into good position to make that pass. Again, the elbows high, balls up, extended, crunch release. He's in that triple threat position. He can pass, he can shoot, he can move as he does a 180 turn. All right, so now, again, it's a 180 reverse, and we're going weak side turns. So he's got to really whip that hip around to get back into that triple threat position. See how he spins completely around, gets back into good position, keeps the ball up above the water, and then crunch release to make that pass. Snapping his body forward to create the torque. Comes all the way around, good body position, spins completely around, faces the pass, and makes a good pass. All right, this is the box drill. Players are going to use all of their motions to go around in a box. They're stepping to their right, worming forward, worm left, worm forward. He's stepping to his right, breaststroke, backstroke, and then recovering and making a pass. Worm forward, step to the right, back with the breaststroke kicks, worms to his left, and then makes the pass. Worm forward, worm sideways, breaststroke backwards, step to the right, comes up and makes a pass. So this is a good drill to focus on all of those movements, being able to step to your right, backpedal a little bit with those breaststroke kicks, worm to your left, and worm forward. Big breaststroke kicks, backing up, step into the left, worm into the left, making the pass. Worm to the left, back with the breaststroke kicks, worming forward, and making the pass. So these are those release point drills where you're going to vary the release of your pass, right? Right here we have that sweep pass, very similar to the 2-meter offensive player sweep shot. Straight arm, it's coming parallel to the water. They're making a sweep pass. Good straight arm, parallel to the water, sweeping that pass over. All right, so right now we're going to just go a wraparound pass. The defense is in the way, and the guys are going to come up and wrap the ball around him. Again, this is just varying those release points. Field blocker's up in that position, and the passer is just wrapping the ball around the arm. Almost a sidearm, somewhat of a sweep a little bit there. Stepping out, and wrapping the ball around the arm. All right, so this is again another release point. They're gonna fade to their left. All of these passers are right-handed, so they're gonna fade to their left, to their weak arm, and then kind of pass the ball over the top of their head. So they're fading to their left, shooting the ball kind of over the top of their ear. Again, just another release point. It's not that perfect triple threat position, but again, there's going to be times where you have to extend the ball away from the defense and create a shooting lane for yourself. So they're fading to their left and making a pass over the top of their ear. All right, so we're going to go an arc drill here where they're going to release from multiple points. So really wide release of a 45-degree over the top of the head. Now he's going to come over to the left side of his body. Changing up those release points. Really wide, about a 45-degree over the top of the head. Coming back over to the left, fading to the left. Again, just changing up that release point as you pass. Good way to establish different ways to pass the ball and to be able to work in an environment that's not completely perfect. All right, this is just a good warm-up shooting drill. This is catch and shoot. They're gonna catch a ball strong side and a fade. Strong side, catch, crunch release. And now they're gonna get a weak side draw, catch and shoot. Strong side, see how their elbows are high. And a weak side draw, crunch and shot. That crunch is really creating that power as the shooter is breaststroking and then snapping their torso forward. So again, strong side catch, snap, that crunch release, weak side draw, crunch release. Elbows high, above the head, good high release point, snapping through. Legs are moving quickly, weak arm is sculling, you get good height, weak side draw, snapping that shot forward, getting all the pace on it. Strong side catch, snapping forward, and a weak side draw, snapping forward. Good high elbow, good release position. All right, so now we're gonna go that worm forward. They're worming forward, getting their legs back underneath and shooting. So you're creating space. Moving forward quickly, surfing that water, getting up and shooting. They're gonna worm forward, get up, legs back underneath them. So again, you see how they dive forward with that weak arm, body surfing the water, and then they're pulling their legs back underneath them so that they can get up and get a good hard shot. Up, worm forward, reset, shoot. Up, use that momentum. So you're using your height, you're using the momentum of coming down to slide forward, to worm forward, and then get your legs back underneath you, come back up for a good hard shot. All right, so this is the worm sideways, worming to their left, establishing a new shooting or passing lane, and then getting themselves back into that good shooting position, shooting the ball. Coming up, worming to their left, creating a new shooting lane or a passing lane, and then taking a shot. So they're going from the goalie's left to the goalie's right, creating a new shooting lane, getting back on their legs, getting back into a shooting position. See how the ball's always up so it's ready to be shot as they slide and create that new shooting lane. Sliding to the left, worming to the left, getting up, and a good hard shot. All right, last one. Up, worm to the left, create that new shooting lane, good hard shot. Okay, so this is that strong side step drill. Shooter's gonna get up and step to his right. Again, creating that new shooting lane, forcing the goalie to move with him, forcing the defense to move with him as he steps to his right, keeping the ball up so that they're always in a good shooting position. Always able to shoot quickly if the goalie makes a mistake. Step into the right, good hard fake, get the goalie out of position, and take that shot. Being mobile laterally. And again, big step with that right leg, pulling their body to the right, changing their shooting position, creating a new shooting lane. So it's that right leg is really pulling the body to the right and snapping. Off arm is working hard, sculling, keeping the ball high and in a shooting position. Right leg's really pulling the body, left arm is sculling, ball's in a shooting position. All right, so these are the shooting versus throwing drills. Okay, so we're gonna do the hesitation shot right now. Shooter fakes, locks, hitches a little bit, and then crunch releases the ball. So they're gonna come forward with a hard motion to commit the goalie, and then snap that ball off in a hesitation fashion. Trying to get the goalie to commit a little bit on the fake, and then not bring the ball all the way back to release it. Good, solid, hard fake. Puts the ball forward, but not so far forward that they can't shoot it, and then they snap it off. See how their elbow's always high. They're in that good base shooting position. Snapping off, locking the goalie, and then snapping forward really quickly. Just a quick little hesitation on the fake. It'll get the goalie to come up a little bit, and then you can shoot it by him. The shooter is going to catch the ball, worm in, so you're going to see that move as they worm closer to the cage, come back up, lock the goalie, get the goalie to commit forward, and then throw a lob. Nice soft shot. You're trying to get the goalie up with a big hard move and a big hard fake, and then just have a nice soft shot over the top of the goalie's hands into the cage. So in this drill, these guys are catching the ball and worming closer to the cage, catch and worm forward, coming up big and throwing a lob over the top, just trying to cut the ball just over the top of the goalie's fingertips. Worming forward, coming up big, committing the goalie, and then trying a lob shot. Lob shot should look very similar to your normal release of your hard shot because you want the goalie committing forward. You want to have it look and feel just like your hard shot. Committing the goalie again, you want to get the goalie up and moving forward so that you can lob the ball over the top into the empty water behind the goalie. It's a touch shot, soft shot, but again, taking advantage of the goalie's commitment forward towards the shooter. All right, next shooting drill is going to be that misdirection shots. The shooters are going to fade to their left and shoot back to their right, trying to get the goalie to move with their body motion, and then they're going to bring the ball back to the other side of the cage. Again, commit the goalie with a big body motion, and then the ball comes back to the other side of the cage. So they're fading left, shooting right now. All of these are right-handed shooters again. If it's a left-handed shooter, you can fade to your right, shoot to your left. So big body motion to the left, trying to commit the goalie, and then they're shooting back to the right side. All right, again, we're going to go misdirection shot here. This is going to be stepping a strong side step to the right, and then bring the ball back to the left. Trying to commit that goalie to that body motion, to the strong body motion. Get the goalie sliding, and then go back against the grain with the shot. Good, hard, strong step to the right, shoot back to the left. And thinking while you shoot. Trying to get the goalie to react to you instead of just throwing the ball at the cage. As a shooter, you'd like to dictate to the goalie what's going to happen. It's not going to happen every time, but if you think it through and try to get the goalie to react to your body motions, you can shoot some misdirection shots that'll be successful. Now we're going to go a wraparound. We're going to put a field blocker in front of the shooter so you'll be able to see the shooter come around the arm and shoot. Field blockers matching hands as we talked about. Trying to get high and prevent the ball from coming to the cage. The shooter's just stepping around and wrapping the ball around that field block arm. Good height, again, same base shooting position. Elbows high, balls up, left arm sculling. You got those leg RPMs going. And the shooter's able to wrap that ball around the arm and into the side of the cage where the goalie's expecting the field blocker to cover. All right, so now we're gonna go skip shots. You're going to see the shots are going to look just like a normal outside shot. You're going to find that skip point in front of a little bit in front of the goalie, skip that ball through the back of the net. Common mistake for players is when they're young, they're forced to really slam that ball into the water, and that's going to force the ball to go over the top. As you get bigger and stronger, all you really need to do is shoot a normal shot, trying to skip it right in front of the goalie's hands so that it comes off the water and goes over the top of the hands. Same motion, good base position. Offhand is sculling, ball is high, snapping down and just skipping the ball off the water. All right, so these are the driver movement shooting drills. So the first one is going to be the backdoor release, quick shot. So you're going to do a hard backdoor release, step back out, catch, and shoot. Okay, so you're forcing the defense to react to you, back up, and then you're going to step back out for a quick catch and shoot. Hard backdoor release, step back out on your legs, catch and shoot quick. You're not going to have much time to fake the ball, because the defense is going to be recovering and closing out. But with this release, you're going to get the defense to back up, step back out, catch, and shoot. Quick backdoor release, get the defense to react, stepping back, quickly catching the ball and shooting. You can use your off arm here to push off a little bit if you can get a hold of the defensive player's back. Shove off again to just create a little bit more space. Stepping back out, quick explosive moves. So you see as the drivers, these guys are very explosive. They'll dive inside, they're not swimming first. Their first move is a big explosive lunge or a breaststroke kick to get inside position. Then they're snapping back out, recovering their legs and being able to shoot quickly. Quick back door, defense reacts, catch, shoot. All right, so again, these are the driver movement shooting drills that we went through. This is the give and go. So the offensive player's faking, give and go, get the pass back and a shot. All right, offense is faking. As the defense closes out, he gives and goes, catches the ball quickly and shoots. So again, he's making that pass, stepping inside, creating some space, getting the ball right back for a shot. Right as the defense closes out, he uses that momentum forward to go around the defense, catch and shoot. Offense has the ball up, gives and goes, shooting. As they do the give and go move, the offense is kind of opening up their shoulders wide and letting the defense slide through. And they're snapping inside water, getting a little push off on the defense and looking for the ball right back. Ball's up and locked. As the defense closes out, they step around, look for the ball right back for a shot. Lock, defense closes out, offense goes back inside, looks for the ball. All right, so right now we're gonna go those inside water shooting drills. The first one we're gonna do is the push shot. So they're gonna swim in, defenders on their back. They're not able to pick the ball up into a base shooting position because there's a defender right behind them, can get their elbow, attack the ball. So they're gonna have to shoot the ball off the water. This is gonna be a quick push shot, rotating your thumb underneath the ball and then pushing the ball towards the cage. All right, here we go. Go. Offense is swimming in, gets the ball, thumb under the ball, elbows high, push the ball at the cage. Again, as you'll see, the defenders on their back, they're not able to pick that ball up and extend it back by their head, so they're gonna shoot the ball quickly. Thumb under the ball, elbows high, push the ball at the cage. As a driver, as a counterattack player, when you get inside water, sometimes you just have to get the ball off on the goal. So you see his hips are up, they're high on the water. He's got that good position where he's mobile, okay? He's egg beatering, his butt's up in front of the defender, kind of keeping position in front of him. Gets that ball, drops his thumb underneath the ball, elbow gets high, and he pushes the ball at the goal. All right, again, inside water shooting. This is gonna be a weak shoulder seal. Defense is on the offense's back. The offense is gonna stop, seal with that weak shoulder, bring the ball away from the defender, holding it away, extending the ball away so the defender can't get a hold of the elbow or get a hold of the ball. And it's gonna be a quick wrist shot, just trying to find an opening to the cage. Swimming in, stops, gets into that base, kind of 2-meter offense position, sealing off with the weak shoulder, stepping towards the cage, extending the ball away from the defense. Pulls up, gets in that chair position of a 2-meter man, works inside, extending that ball away. And again, when they seal with that left shoulder, they're in good 2-meter offensive position. They're in that swivel chair, their legs are underneath them, they're holding off the defender with their weak shoulder, and they're just gonna go a quick wrist shot trying to get the ball on the goal. Seals off, stays on his legs are pumping, he doesn't want to get pushed underwater, working real hard, trying to get close to the cage and just get a quick wrist shot on goal. Again, inside water shots, you gotta be tough and you gotta be creative. You can't let the defense push you under, and you gotta, again, just try to get a shot off. All right, so again, inside water, and we're gonna do a rollover shot. So the offense is swimming in, they're gonna get the ball, rotate their hand underneath, do a complete kind of barrel roll, corkscrew, to gain some separation from the defense, extend the ball away from the defense, and then get a shot off. So as they grab that ball, pull the ball underneath, get the ball underneath, and then he's spinning, corkscrewing away from the defense, resetting his legs, extending the ball away from the defender, keep the ball away so he can't get a hold of your elbow or attack the ball, and put your torso and your legs in between the ball and the defender. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do on those inside water shooting drills is that second move. We talked about the second move, worm. So as they come towards the cage, the defense is gonna be chasing them on an angle. The offense is gonna get up big. As the defense closes out, the offense is gonna worm back inside water and then work for an inside water shot. So he comes up high and then steps back inside, and now he's working for a shot. We're not gonna focus on the specific shot right now. We're gonna focus on that second move to get inside water. Once you're inside water, again, as I said, be creative and be tough. Stay on your legs. Don't let the defense push you under. Work for a shot. Find a way to get the ball at the goal. So the offense is gonna come in and he's gonna time his move, step back inside, work for that inside water shot. So he steps up, gets up big, defense reacts, comes back underneath with that worm move, comes inside water, gets a shot off on cage. You're not always going to be successful with these shots, but as I said, you got to be creative and you got to be tough. You got to find a way to get the ball on goal. You can't lose the ball, you can't get it stolen. You're inside position, work for that shot, and finish on the goal. The second move drill we're going to do is a reverse spin. So again, the offense is going to come in, come up, and then spin back inside with a reverse spin move to gain inside position. And then again, like I said, you're on your own. Try to find a way to get the ball on cage. You can use the weak shoulder seal move. You can use a push shot. Offense comes up big and then spins back inside and now is sealed with his left shoulder, creates some separation and gets a hard shot. Offense comes in, comes up big, reverse spin, back inside position, gets a shot off on cage. Commit that defense. Again, like the give and go, the offense is using the defense's momentum against him. Defense is reacting to the shooter coming up, looks like he's gonna shoot, reacts to the ball, and the defense uses that momentum to come back inside water and create an inside water close shooting opportunity. Up, reverse spin, offense is inside water, good push shot into the cage. The last inside water second move drill we're gonna do is an up and under. Offense is coming down, defense beats him to the spot, offense comes up big to shoot, drops the ball down, spins inside water. Okay, so again, using that defensive player's momentum. The defensive player is attacking the ball, you're coming up big, then dropping down, trying to get your left arm underneath the back and spinning inside. Big aggressive fake to shoot, commits that defender to come at you, and then you're going to use that momentum against him. Comes up hard, up, and then under, strong side spin, and now he's got an inside water shot. Here we go again, big aggressive fake move, and then inside, using the offhand to spin and get that shot off. Okay, those are some of the basic principles for front court offense and defense, counterattack offense and defense, and 6-on-5 offense and defense. Hopefully you can use some of those ideas, go back to your team and have a successful season. Best of luck.